So we've talked about family continuity planning, and we've even cited reasons why people do not take the time to put plans in place. But we are yet to establish why it is even important. So here it is. With having a plan in place for your family's continuity, you are ensuring that they are protected. If anything was to happen to you, because you have put plans in place and you've put systems in place and you've made preferences clear, your family would have access to documentation, to information, to resources, to the things that are important for them to carry on. Another reason you want to take the time to put plans in place now is if you do not make the plans, someone else will be making decisions for you. And you can't expose your family to that much vulnerability and stress and overwhelm and confusion. So we might as well do the work now to protect our family, not because we are anticipating that something's going to happen to us after we make a couple of blinks. No, we are just being proactive to ensure that our loved ones and even ourselves, we are protected because it doesn't necessarily have to be a case of passing on. We could suffer different types of life events, undesirable life events. We could even just become incapacitated. We might still be alive, but not be of the right mind to make decisions as we ought to, or be in the place to make decisions that we ought to. So, having plans in place, talking with your family, having hard discussions just helps to get clarity on what preferences are, what things should be done if things happen, and just getting things that could result in confusing situations, getting them sorted out and out of the picture. Another thing is, especially with business owners, you want to have a continuity plan in place. And this is how it affects your family. Now, we're not talking about from the business angle, but even as a business owner, how does this affect your family? If your business does not have a plan in place for its continuity, it can come to bite your family in the rear if you have debtors. If you have creditors and you have not settled those creditors, it can come to affect your family. If you have obligations in your business and you have not made provisions for those obligations for how they'll be met, it can come to be a burden for your family. So this is not just about how your business thrives, but you're also considering how is this an issue for your family to deal with if you are incapacitated or if you are no longer in the picture. So what things can you then do to get started with continuity planning today? So to get started with continuity planning, firstly, you want to assess your situation. What's your current status? Do your family members have access to information, or do they even know how to get that information that they need? For example, I'm thinking of something like investment accounts. They might know that you have certain accounts with certain corporations or companies, but not have the information that they can use to access that account. So it's not enough to talk about what you have. You also want to ensure that they have access to this information or to these platforms. Another thing that you want to do is you want to set up your essential documents. So we've talked about drafting a will or having a trust. That is important. And again, you don't have to do this on your own. Reach out to professionals. It is in fact recommended that you work with professionals, work with a lawyer, and because this is their field, this is their area of expertise. They know more about it than you. So there are things that they would bring up that you probably did not even consider. So get a professional and work with them and make the investments that you need to. Don't come with a mindset of wanting to spend the least, because you spend the least, you get the least kind of service, and the least kind of service might bring upon your family the worst kind of trouble. So make the right investment and get the right professional to help you with putting together the essential documents that your family needs. Next thing you want to do is you want to have discussions with your family members or with your relatives, with your community, people who are dear and precious to you. These are going to be hard conversations to have, definitely, but they must be had. An example is a situation like guardianship. My hubby and I, we've had this conversation. It's not the easiest to have, but it's an important conversation to have. If something happens to both of us and we get to be out of the picture, who's going to be responsible for our children? It is not a thought that you want to have, but it's a thought that you must have if you're thinking of continuity planning, because except something happens to the whole family at once, if both spouses are out of the picture, you still have the children and they still have to continue their lives. So it is expedient that as parents, we make these decisions, we have these conversations and put plans in place to ensure that if they are left alone to live their lives, at least they'll be living their lives in the best way that they can. Next, update your document. Keep in mind that as your family grows and as time passes on, your needs change from time to time, from seasons to seasons. Now, you don't need to change this every month, neither do you need to change it every quarter, but from time to time, say probably yearly, you want to review your documents and you want to make adjustments where needed. The plans that you had in place for a minor is not going to be the plans that you need for a young adult. So you want to make changes as needed. So we have talked a lot about family continuity planning, what it means, why people do not think about continuity planning, but why it is important, and the things that we can do. So my question to you is, what exactly are you going to be doing today? So what exactly is going to be your first step? Are you going to be having discussions with your family members, or are you working on your documentation? And what exactly are you going to be doing? So put it in the comment section. You can just say next steps and put in place what exactly you are going to be doing. It's important that we take action. Whatever action, as long as it's good, it is better than doing nothing. If you visit my website, and this is going to be www.unstrand.co, and you go to the tab that says resources, so that's going to be unstrand.co/resources. There are a number of materials that are there for you to freely download and use as you get started with your continuity planning journey. In fact, I have a checklist that I am going to link directly in the description section, and you can just click on that, and I think it's about a 7-step checklist of things that you need to do. Now, this doesn't mean it's just 7 things you have to do, but 7 different aspects of things that you want to address as you get started with your continuity planning journey. Let's bring this home. What exactly does this mean for me? This refers to everything that my hubby and I are doing to ensure that either in the absence of either or both of us, the family is able to continue. And we are also putting in place measures to preserve legacy. So things that our parents and our grandparents have handed down to us, and we are being intentional that we are passing it on to our children so they can also be a part of that, of the family history, and they can also pass it on to their offsprings. We are also putting in place action plans for generational wealth to ensure that whatever we have doesn't just get exhausted in our generation, but it is passed on to our children. They build on it and they can pass it on to their children and keep passing it on. Hopefully they get the memo. And what are we doing? We are also putting together legal documents to avoid confusions and issues that can rise up later. So we're put together a will or a revocable trust, a living trust, just to avoid confusion and things that can rise up as life continues. So this is just a few of the things that we're doing, but in the grand picture of family continuity planning, that is what it means to me. What does that look like for you? If you're bold enough and you're willing to share, please put that in the comment section so we can all learn from each other. I am Kemi, and I have enjoyed being with you here. So like this video because you can relate with what I have shared and it's important and you want other people to see it also. Subscribe to my channel. That way you get to see other content that I put out. In fact, you also need to put on the to activate the notification bell. So when I put stuff out, you get it. And lastly, please share. You can share the whole video or you can share a clip, a portion of it, but share this within your friends and within your community, your loved ones, your family members. So one family at a time, we are all taking action, taking the right steps to ensure that our families are secure and our resilience is guaranteed. Till the next time with me.